Hello everyone, today we will be talking about Omicro's dynamic circuit and why it is better than standard PBFT. So PBFT is short for Practical Byzantine Fault Tolerant. We will go over PBFT because the Omicro consensus can be understood better that way. It is a well-known algorithm to solve the Byzantine problem. In PBFT, there's one leader node and n-1 follower node. Each message is cryptographically signed by the sender and verified by the receiver for security measures. We will assume that there are at most f faulty nodes in the network size n equals to 3f plus 1, which we will refer as the quorum rule. PBFT protocols includes three subprotocols: normal operation protocol, checkpoint protocol, and field change protocol. We won't be going over the checkpoint protocol and the view change protocol because in the Omicro consensus protocol, there will be always multiple leader nodes at any request. So these two protocols don't really apply. Normal operation protocol is the duration between a client's request and the system reaching consensus. It happens in three phases. The first phase is pre-prepare, which is where a leader node receives a request message and sends a pre-prepare message along with the request message to all of the follower nodes. The follower node then verifies the signature and proceeds to the prepare phase if everything checks out. In the prepare phase, this is where each follower node broadcasts a prepare message to all other nodes. A node that received at least two f plus 1 prepare messages with the same sequence number and message signature proceeds to the commit phase. In the commit phase, it is where every node sends a commit message to all other nodes. When a node receives at least two f plus 1 commit messages with the same sequence number and message signature, it then updates the state of the node. And after the commit phase, it sends an output value to the client with the reply message, and the client receives at least two f plus 1 reply messages having the same output value from the nodes. It will then accept the output value, and if it doesn't reach this quorum, then the consensus is not reached. So in the Omicro consensus protocol, when a leader node is detected for being faulty, or no quorum of 2f plus 1 is received in both the prepare and commit phases, it will send a failure message to the client, and the client can then resubmit the request again upon failure. So here's like a diagram of PBFT. Essentially, it's like what I described, where there's a request, then there's a pre-prepare phase, to the prepare phase, to the commit phase, and finally to the reply to see if they reach consensus. Okay, now that we got the general idea of PBFT, we will talk about Omicro and how they're kind of related. So Omicro's dynamic circuit is our innovative consensus technology that are created and destroyed by a client to conduct voting and Byzantine fault-tolerant elections. Essentially, it is a routing circuit to implement consensus protocols and is how communicational messages reach from node to node. The dynamic circuits are better than PBFT, or at least a better solution, because in PBFT there's only one leader node, but here we have multiple leader nodes. So if a singular leader node in, let's say, PBFT gets attacked, then the whole consensus is screwed over. But since we have multiple leader nodes, if one of the nodes get attacked, that's not an issue, as we have multiple other leader nodes to continue the consensus process. In addition, the dynamic circuit operates in zones, which allows for a O3n communication complexity in contrast to the ON squared messaging complexity of PBFT. So we're much faster. So the dynamic circuit conducts the initial vote phase where members collect votes, where member votes are collected in zones, and then the leader nodes in all the zones then conduct the final BFT phase, which is a PBFT like a protocol to achieve the final consensus. So in the final PBFT phase, it's kind of similar to the PBFT that we described earlier. So in general, Omicro's consensus with the dynamic circuit allows for the security and speed that the standard PBFT was lacking and is a much better solution.